Branding, marketing, and sales. What is the difference? Driven Mofos, welcome back to another episode of The Underestimated Entrepreneur. I was just asked a question by one of our community members, and it is a great question. And that is, what is the difference between branding, marketing, and sales, and how do they all work together? All right, this is really cool. So when you're thinking about branding, marketing, and sales, what we're really thinking about is cash, right? Because businesses run on money. When you run out of money, you don't have a business anymore. If you're not thinking about money, then you probably have a hobby or a charity or something else, but it's definitely not a business. So if we work backwards, so let's think about cash coming in the bank. We're not talking about profit or anything like that. We're just talking about revenue. So this is the amount of money essentially that hits the bank account at the end of every week, month, 3-month period, year, or whatever you want to call it. So in order to get that in the bank, you then have to sell stuff, and you have to sell enough stuff with enough profit margin in order to make a good profit. So that's sales. Now, in order to get sales, you need to do marketing normally. So you need to either generate leads or you need to have someone else who is giving you leads. So you're going to hire a marketing agency. You might run your own marketing. You might run ads. You might do cold outreach. You might get referrals. But these are essentially leads that are coming through some sort of a marketing campaign or marketing. So that really is marketing. Then it goes to the sales team. The sales team get the leads, and then the sales team close those leads. And if they do a good job, the business makes enough money where there's enough left where they make a profit. This is very basic, by the way, and I know that there's someone out there who is a bit more advanced and sitting there going, well, there's a little bit more to it than that. We're just keeping it as simple as possible because most people get this wrong. Even really high-level business owners get this wrong. So sales really is the process of getting cash off of people or getting a decision made. So if you haven't gone to YouTube yet and watched my sales training, it's all on the decide method. Because when you're in a sales process, you're trying to get someone to make a decision. And that is, do you want the product or service? Yes or no? And do you want it at this price? Yes or no? Only after that can you collect the cash. If someone's not willing to make a commitment, then you haven't sold anything. So let's just say, and I'm going to use some different examples here. You've got somebody in your team. Now, this used to happen to my team. I had a sales team, and I would say to them, where's my sales? And they'd say, oh, we've spoken to a whole bunch of people and they're keen and, they know about us, they know about the product. What that tells me is they've done marketing, they haven't done sales. Sales is sitting down and saying, what's the problem? Can we fix that problem? Okay, yes, we can fix that problem. Here's the solution. The solution price is this. Now give us the cash. When the customer makes that commitment, that is the sales process. Prior to that, if you're just talking about the product or service, that's marketing. So if I meet somebody on the street and they say, what do you do? And I say, well, we help people perform better. Essentially, I am a mental performance coach. I work with people's mindset. The mindset is the number one thing that's going to stop people from achieving great results. And I help them in the area of health and fitness. I help them in the area of business and wealth. I help them in the area of their intimate relationship, management, staffing, leadership. I mean, shit, anything that deals with people, that is what I'm world class at. That is what I'm best at. So that's what I get hired to do. Now, they go, oh, cool, that's interesting. That is all marketing. If they say we should sit down and we should talk about it because I'm really interested to know more and I'm keen to hear about the products or the services that you have, then if I sit down with them, I go through the products and services, find out the problem that they have, give them the solution, offer the price. Now I'm in the sales process. Okay, so I hope I'm distinguishing the difference between marketing and sales. Marketing is normally the Facebook ads that you see. Most of the time it is the adverts that you see where they say the product is this price. These are the benefits of the product. That is marketing. Branding is different. Branding is a long-term strategy that is about building the relationship with the customer so that when the customer needs your solution, they think about your product. So if I talk about Coca-Cola, when I'm talking about Coca-Cola, the reason why you know what that is because of branding. It's not marketing, it's branding. Because if I say to you, what's the price of Coca-Cola? If you don't know the price off the top of your head, then you don't know the marketing yet. You just know maybe the sale. But if you can think about Coca-Cola, and when you think about it, you think about your family sitting around the dinner table, you think about having fun, you think about sunshine, you think about warm weather, you think about opening a nice can of Coca-Cola when it's hot, That is probably all a effect of branding. So Coca-Cola have done an amazing job over the years of making themselves what people crave in summertime. That's what branding does. If I say Ferrari are one of the best branding companies on the planet, because when you think about a Ferrari, you're thinking about the Ferrari brand. And in fact, Ferrari make more money off of merchandise than they do selling cars, the last time I checked. That's because they are so good at branding. If you go to the car racing, people walk around with Ferrari hats on, Ferrari clothing, not because of what Ferrari does, but because of the brand. Okay, people want to associate themselves with a brand, with an identity, and that's branding. So branding is a long-term strategy. Marketing is essentially campaigns. So let me use a car brand like Toyota. Toyota show consistently adverts, they have billboards, and they do radio advertising, and they all talk about the family car, the affordable car. And so they keep putting it in your head that Toyota is affordable. Toyota is high quality. It's an affordable, high quality family car. And they keep doing that over and over and over again. If you're thinking about buying a high quality family car, then you're probably going to think about Toyota. That's branding. Now, marketing comes along and marketing says, right, we have the brand new Toyota, whatever type of car it is. Let's say it's a Toyota Tarago, a family van, a minivan. And they come out and they say, for this month, get your brand new Toyota Tarago with these features and yada, yada, yada. Come in and see us at your local dealer in order to get this deal where you'll save $5,000 off of your brand new Toyota Tarago. That's now marketing. Then when you walk in there into the dealership, you then walk in and say, hey, I just want to know more about the Tarago. I'm thinking about that. I'm not sure what color I want. Now the salesperson comes up, finds out more information about you. They ask you what problems you want to solve, what are your concerns, what are your worries. They overcome any objection, and then they get you to sign the paperwork. That's the sales process. So there you can see branding, marketing, and also sales. Now, where this goes wrong is a lot of marketing agencies aren't marketing agencies, they're actually branding agencies. So they'll sell you a branding package where they make you a pretty website. They might talk about some of your products and put some of that stuff on there, but it's more branding. They'll take nice, pretty photos. They will make some pretty stuff for social media. They will try to get more likes and so on, maybe a little bit of marketing, but the majority of it is branding. They're making everything look pretty and they're trying to get the customer to believe in the product or the service. That's branding. A good marketing agency goes out there and they're essentially generating leads. So what they do is they will say, right, this is the amount that we're going to spend on ads. They will then run ad campaigns, or they might do flyer drops, or whatever their strategy is. They might do Google AdWords, and then they are driving traffic to certain adverts to get the customer to do a certain action, which then generates a lead. That lead then can go to the sales team. So as you can see there, most marketing agencies don't generate leads. What they do is they create a brand and try to get more attention on social media, which might lead to likes and followers, but not necessarily leads, which then means that it's probably not marketing. Now, all of this, there's sort of gray areas in between. So you can't really say this is branding, this is marketing, and this is sales, because branding should lead to marketing and marketing should lead to sales, and sales should lead to better marketing, and better marketing should lead back to better branding, and better branding should lead to more sales, and more sales, if you do a good job, should lead to a better brand. So they all sort of interlink into each other. It's very hard to do a poor job in one of those and have the machine work really, really well. All three of them need to work together. Anyway, I thought for the business owners out there, it's probably a great way of sharing the differences between the three, and maybe where you have gaps in your own products, in your own services, or your own branding or marketing. I'll use an example of an influencer. An influencer might have 1 million followers. So they're great at branding, but they may not be making any offers. And so if they're not making offers, they're not good at marketing. And also, if they're not hitting their DMs and they're not following people up, then they're not good at sales. So a lot of influencers are really good at branding, but they're crap at marketing and also sales. Some people are really good at marketing. So some influencers will have a huge following and do really good at marketing where they're putting out, all these product offerings and so on, but they just can't close sales. So they might lose it there. And what I find is a lot of business owners leave a lot of money on the table because they don't actually know what they're good at. They don't know where their gaps are. They don't know how to build the skills differences. Because of that, then they go and hire people that aren't the best at what they do in those areas, which then creates more of a problem. Then the business owner's stressed out because the business owner's trying to do branding, marketing, and sales, as well as product delivery or a service, customer relations, and it just becomes a big mess. If you know what you're doing, you're always building a brand through your social media presence or through your customers. You're asking for referrals, which is a lead generator. Then from there, you're following them up, you're closing them, and so on. You just end up with this big machine that keeps operating and will just keep spitting out cash. That's really what you want. And that's what great companies like Apple do. Apple are probably one of the best companies in the world that have such a great brand that their marketing works so well that then their sales is just amazing. And that's why they're such an amazing company, because they bridge those gaps. When I was speaking to the client of ours, one of the key things that I said with a brand is that a brand needs to evolve as the product evolves or as the service evolves. So if I go back 10 years and look at my product or my service, it has evolved. Therefore, my brand has evolved. The old Michael Johnson or Michael Mojo or the Mojo Master, whatever brand it was back many, many years ago, has evolved as I've evolved. You know, now I have a wife. Back then I didn't. So back then I'm talking about my girlfriend, or back then I may have even been single. Now I'm talking about my wife. So I relate more to people in relationships, and I can talk more about relationships in my product and service offerings because I already have that. What I don't do though is I don't talk about my kids because I don't have any. And so therefore I may not relate to some parents who have kids and they're looking for an expert with children. Although I am a fucking machine at human behavior, so I understand probably more than most experts about how children operate because of value structures, because of how kids think through things, the balances in family dynamics and all that sort of stuff. I've studied a lot of that stuff and I've worked with a lot of families. But that doesn't mean that I guess I'm an expert with children because I just don't have children in my branding or my marketing, because it's not what I do. So I hope that helps anyway, Driven Mofos. I hope that's really helped you to get clarity for any of the business owners listening in here, or for anyone wanting to start a business. It's really important to understand those different principles. Anyway, Driven Mofos, have a great day. Remember, sharing is caring. Also, if you haven't rated and reviewed this podcast, please make sure you do so. It is super important to keep sharing this out there. I know our numbers keep cranking every week. To all of those who have rated this podcast, have reviewed this podcast, and also those who have shared it. I know when you're sharing it because I see it on social media, but I also get people who say, my friend shared this with me. So for all of those out there who have been doing that, I really do appreciate each and every one of you. It's awesome to have you in the community. And the more this stuff gets out there, the more I love doing it, because the more I look at the numbers going up and I go, cool, people are valuing what I share. So anyway, Driven Mofos, have a great day. Look forward to seeing you on the next podcast. Most people waste their life, and I just don't want you to be one of them.